Hey guys, so as a part of Enlighten University, me and the students have been working through the book The Way of the Shaman by Michael Harner. And one of the students submitted an experience, which I'm going to read for all of you. And he wanted this to be submitted anonymously. And so this just gives kind of an idea of what it can be like when we employ shamanic methods. Stay tuned. I decided to take vision quest at a sacred Native American site near my house. It had been raining for the past few days, and so the grass was soaked. And when I reached the destination in my pickup, I started to walk through a farmer's field, and before long, my pants and legs were soaked through with water. I crossed a barbed wire fence and headed down towards the edge of the valley. There I saw an eagle in the distance. He looked up towards me. The eagle rose up into the air and then circled around me. I shook my rattle at the 4 directions, and then turned to the eagle and asked for his assistance. I made my way around the bend, and there I could see the effigy laid out on the earth. As soon as I arrived, I could hear coyotes howling in the distance. I began to shake my rattle again at the 4 directions, as before. I beat my drum and walked clockwise around the effigy. Soon I'm on the ground drumming, cross-legged next to the effigy. I switch to the rattle, and I see in my mind a coyote. I'm almost convinced that the coyote is standing there before me, so I open my eyes. I close my eyes again, and there I see the coyote. I see him snarl, and I renounce the negativity. The coyote keeps switching between a calm, white wisdom form and a snarling, negative form. I send the negative form off to the east and imagine it fighting with another coyote. In the meanwhile, I follow the wisdom coyote down a trail. But now his trail turns into a tunnel of psychedelic triangles moving around me at increasing speed. Blue and pink dots make up the triangles as they whiz past. Next, the triangles expand and surround me. I swerve this way and that, curving down the tunnel. Eventually, the tunnel accelerates to an uncomfortable speed. I feel a high-intensity energy moving through me. I start to get uncomfortable. Then the triangles turn into a revolving vortex of rays, sun rays. I see the disk of the sun outlined by the rays moving around above me. The rays are red on the inside and more yellow going out. I hear a voice explaining to me the importance of this place, that this is a vision quest site and it is dedicated to the spirit of the sun. A few other meaningful details are given to me, but now I can't remember them. I realize this effigy is the image of a man covered by the sun laying on his back, and by now I'm laying the same way next to the figure, and I feel the sun moving over me, washing me, cleansing me. A voice is telling me to relax, to be calm and not to be afraid. The spirit of the sun explains to me that he is not something to be afraid of. I feel like I've chanced upon a special place, a place not commonly known, a place sacred to the sun. The sun seems to be saying, I'm not privileged enough to be here doing what I'm doing, but the sun smiles upon me and says that I've found this place through pure luck, and the sun is happy that I'm there. I feel in my chest these grinding wheels of paranoia and fear. The sun explains to me that I'm holding on too tight, clinging too hard, filling myself with fear. I sit up, uncomfortable. I see small hallucinations in my normal vision. I lie down again. The sun is still there, revolving around above me. My whole body is vibrating. My heart is racing. I sit up thinking I might have a heart attack. I'm told, you see, too much fear, you know you'll be fine. You've got to stop with all this fear. I lay down again, and a little bird lands on the large megalith at the edge of the valley. He looks at me suspiciously and flies off. I lay down again. The sun keeps washing over me, but I'm feeling more and more uncomfortable now. The fear and intensity is too much. I feel like I might be dying. I ask if it's fine for me to walk, and the voice replies, you're here to alleviate fear, so yes, of course. If that makes you feel more comfortable, go ahead. I gather my things and start walking away from the effigy. On my way, I see a large red megalith, granite probably. I look over and I hear this deep thundering hum coming from the stone. I feel like this stone is speaking to me. I only hear the stone as I'm approaching it. As soon as I stop, the sound stops. I feel this no kind of sound coming from the stone. This worries me, but I push forward. Then I perceive that there are spirits in the stone, ancient Indian spirits, and I see 3 of them shoulder to shoulder inside the stone. I perceive that they are ancient. When I go to touch the stone, the no seems to get louder, so I decide not to touch it. As I'm walking away, the no paradoxically continues. Then I realize that the stone is reflecting my own energy. I'm always telling myself, no, no, no. I turn around and touch the stone, and now its energy flips more positive to a resonating yes. As I'm walking away, I hear birds chirping, yes, 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 and I perceive that this is all a continuation of the former lesson. Let go and have no fear. As I walk, I gather some of what I think is sage and pray that this sage always reminds me to have no fear. I continue on until I reach the farmer's field, and there I feel myself turning into a coyote. I feel the coyote spirit. I start to rattle my rattle and run through the field, sniffing the air like a coyote on the hunt. As I approach the car, the spell is broken, and I stand up normal again. As I approach the car, I feel someone behind me. I turn around and say, "You can come, but only as a friend." I feel the spirit stop and look at me, puzzled, as if to say, "If I'm not welcome to come with you, then why did you come here to summon me?" I turn around again and say matter-of-factly, "You are welcome to come, but only as a friend, to help, to benefit, and to heal." The spirit graciously agrees and continues following me. I start to pray and invoke Jesus, and I feel the spirit take on a luminous form, and I recognize that it is, in fact, the sun. I say only an angel could assume the form of Christ. I feel that the spirit repeats with me several prayers to Jesus, and I recite a Hail Mary, and the spirit approves. "Jesus Christ is Lord, Lamb of God, Son of God, Lord of all creation, I worship you." The spirit seems unaffected and approving. I approach my car, and I feel as though the spirit is already in the passenger seat. I drive off, and I feel fear, anxiety over this spirit being there, but I'm suspicious because it appears to me to be a projection of my own anxiety. The same anxiety I felt earlier, the same anxiety I was being compelled to overcome. I continue testing the spirit, and pretty soon all I feel are my own fears and paranoias. I realize I'm leaving the experience. The road feels like it goes on forever, but eventually I make it home. It's important to understand that when we talk about shamanic experiences, that we're talking about experiences had in altered states of consciousness through trance, dreams, psychotropic drugs, or extreme examples of fasting, dehydration, or exhaustion, or even pain exposure, right? All of these different methods can induce an altered state of consciousness, and this is what shamans are employing in order to have an experience of the spirit world. There's one quote in Michael Harner's book where he says, "For the shaman, there is no distinction between the imagination and the spirit world. It's like, this inner reality of the mind itself is really the conduit through which we access the spirit world." One of the things Michael talks about is the importance of visualization, that we imagine things, and this can help to propel us into an experience where we start to see things that almost seem to exist autonomously. It's like another world. One of the really interesting things he describes is that when a shaman goes on vision quest and has an experience of a spirit animal, sometimes other people in the room will have the exact same experience without anyone communicating. It's not until afterward they start to describe their experiences, they're all surprised to learn that each of them have had the same experience, right? So this helps to reveal that this inner world, the inner world of dreams, is a kind of reality unto itself. So as I mentioned, this video is part of our Enlighten University syllabus, and through these courses we're going in depth to understand the source of religious thought, the defining scaffolding, you might say, of religious thought, and really better understanding religious experiences. So if you guys have enjoyed the content on this channel, if you really had a desire to learn more and to go deeper into this, I would really encourage you to join our channel and become a YouTube member of the Enlighten University. And be sure to go over and check out the website enlighten-university.com. And in there, you're going to find an educational series that is really going to go much deeper with these ideas and enable you to have the kinds of religious experiences where you can know for yourself and really observe these things with a high degree of certainty and confidence. And we really make sense out of this wide landscape of religious beliefs that we find throughout the world. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And as always, thanks for watching.